No need to ask, he's a smooth
Welcome back, Smooth and Crypto. I'm your host, Maxwell Smooth. We got the dude from BuilDeFi and many, many other projects. How you doing, dude?
Excellent. Another day in crypto world. It's green candles makes everyone feel better. It's like the meme where the guy is just like, with all the green. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, it always feels good. It puts a smile on your face when everything's pumping, and bonded liquidity. It's amazing thing. Something pumps, everything starts pumping, and the big boys are pumping today.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of that will flow to altcoins. Let's fucking go.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is the third weekly BuilDeFi stream that I've done. And, it's something that every week we kind of do a little wrap up of what happened and what's currently happening in the market, what's currently happening in BuilDeFi. And, we've had some updates and some tokens launch, and it's going pretty good. How are you feeling about this week?
Like I said, positive. You want to pull up the build on home token?
Absolutely.
And just give people a little bit of that FOMO feeling. Watch this countdown while we chit chat for a minute.
Yep.
So we are on BuilDeFi base on base. BuilDeFi is live on 3 chains now: ETH, Robinhood, and Base. We're looking at our latest collab with Home, and we've just whitelisted them on our platform. So now anybody can launch a token and pair it with them. So this is the inaugural token here. That's a quick, it's got a 2-hour fair launch window, but you can set it to anywhere from 28 minutes to 88 days. But yeah, we were excited to just get something going, just so we can showcase this token going live while we're live.
Yep. Yeah. And so there's 11 minutes, 30 seconds left. The threshold has been reached, so that's amazing to see. Pumped everybody who got in. And this is a really unique token, I would say. The biggest thing that I can't stress enough is the Aave staking capability of this token. But the buy and sell tax is all going to external stake building, and the custom LPs are going to the buy and burn, add to LP. But this external staking through Aave will continue to buy and burn forever. So the moment this goes live, this will never die. And I can't stress enough how many, especially in a smaller token, smaller market cap, how important this external staking really is. And we have all of the buy and sell tax going to external staking. So we're hoping that ramps up and really pushes, the external stake as high as it can go.
I mean, it'll never go down. Every dollar that goes into that Aave stake stays there, locked forever earning yield, forever. In this case, buying and burning this token. But you can even, like, if you launch your own token, you can select where you want that yield to go. There's several options. We can kind of go through that later in the stream. But on this one specifically, that I would say this is one of my favorite setups. Like having the buy sell tax, that feeding the Aave stake. The Aave stake is permanently locked on there, always growing. As people trade this token, the stake is always growing, and it's forever earning yield to buy and burn this token. Like, to me, that is just insanely powerful. It's something that we were talking about on our space. Was that today? Yeah, today on, like most tokens, they launch and then they go through this 15-minute hype phase. They go up, they go down, they crash, and then everyone moves on. And at BuilDeFi, we're really trying to focus on giving people the tools to build tokens that can actually go the distance, and like tools that help you build a community and an ecosystem. You know, and this is a great example of that. Like we're building on Home. So all of the ETH that's like, so in this case, Aave is earning ETH yield. That ETH has to first buy Home off the market. And then with the Home, it's going to buy and burn the build on Home. So it's supporting the Home token through this whole process. It's creating buy pressure on the underlying asset on top of this token. So it's really, you're creating buy pressure on two tokens, the token that you're building on, that you're bullish on to begin with, and the token that you created forever. I mean, we were talking about that today also, how Aave itself didn't have a exploit, but they listed a token that was exploited, and it was like $250 million exploit. Something, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was a shitload. And Aave has recovered. Like it is like that sizable exploit would just kill any other DeFi protocol out there.
Yeah.
They would just be dead on the spot. Not Aave. Like they've pushed through, they've completely recovered. Like it's like it never even happened. That's how much of an anchor Aave is. And this token here is anchored to Aave forever.
Yeah. I mean, it's really been test of time. I mean, this Aave has been through so many cycles and so much, you know, markets, you know, with crypto. That feels like, you know, the biggest thing that we could have added to this platform is Aave staking. And this is going to be what, you know, dude coined a zombie protocol, right? This is something that's never going to die. It's going to constantly get little drips of ETH. And you never know, with the 5% buy and sell text, that is a lot going to be adding to the Aave stake. So we're going to see this slowly build over time. And, you know, as not only Home grows, but build on Home grows, we are going to see more and more added to this, you know, external staking. It's just amazing. Yes.
And we also, on this one, it's, if you look at the LP drop down, this token is going to launch with 2 LPs. With BuilDeFi, you have the option to launch with up to 50 LPs, which is probably overboard. You know, maybe you want 5 or 6, but the options are there. And we, you know, wanted to keep this simple here with just 2, Home and ETH, just to show that that's even an option, really.
Right.
And it also, what we also love about multiple LPs, like the more LPs you have, the more arbitrage that token invites. And that's something else that Smooth and I are big fans of, is the LP web. As like in this case, if Home goes up in value, your token is going up with it. It's going to create a price difference between the 2 LPs, between Home and ETH. And a bot's going to come in and buy on one pair, sell it on the other pair, and make a penny. But what they're also going to do is pay this 5% buy-sell tax. So while they're you know, equalizing the price and earning a penny, they're putting in probably 50 cents into your Aave stake that's forever going to be earning yield, buying and burning this token. Like, even with no humans involved, this token is going to do a slow build and grow and never stop. So every human that gets involved, and if a community gets around it, that's only going to make it grow faster. But even on its own, it's going to grow, which is just insane.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you know, every time we have these streams, we go over kind of what's currently happening and how these tokens are interacting and how they're built and everything. And it just is amazing to see. And, you know, if a community really gets behind a token, especially on our launch pad, these things really do rip. And It does take a little bit of effort, obviously, but with the arbitrage game, any amount of arbitrage is good arbitrage when it comes to building this external staking. And this, with especially, not only, people can add more liquidity to different tokens with build on home or whatever the case is. And we have the capability of every single time one of these tokens were launched, you can add so many different tokens, right? If you like a different token and we don't have it on our platform, reach out to us and we will whitelist it so you can build on it and add it to the home LP web and the arbitrage for home. It's amazing. And we are really excited about, adding these partnerships and really showing the power of what this platform can really do.
Yeah. We haven't found a disappointed participant yet.
Right.
It's mostly just, this is so new and out of left field that it takes a little bit for people to understand what's going on. But once they get it, the light bulb, you can see the light bulb go over their head and just click on, and they're like, this is amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, 3 minutes left. And also I wanted to note that there is no tax for minting. Like this minting is at a set price and there's no tax involved. So you're literally getting in at the exact ground floor bottom price. Yep. And then once the LP goes live, you've already got tokens in your wallet before the LP even goes live. So there's no race to buy in and hope that you've got enough gas, hope that you got in the right block to get in the right position. You don't have to do any of that with BuilDeFi. You've got all the time you need to sit there and go through the right section and look at all the tokenomics, scroll through everything, decide whether you like it or not, and then, go, oh, you know what, I like this. And then you just, throw in what you want, mint it, and boom, the tokens are in your wallet immediately. So yeah, it's a
zero bonding curve. That is like the biggest differentiating factor of this platform. You do not have to wait for this thing to build and have thousands and thousands of dollars of transaction volume for it to launch. You set the price as you're going through the token build, and it will exactly show you how much the threshold you need for this to launch, i.e., this was, I think, 0.159 or whatever. So it reached 0.16. It's ready to launch. You see the launch threshold reached. And after this minute and 30, this token is live. There's nothing else. It is a full live token on Uniswap using V4. And whatever you set on this side, that's the tokenomics. And every time you build and use BuilDeFi, you can buy and sell with ETH, right? Like obviously you can buy and sell with home as well, but you can buy and sell with ETH on our platform. So if you have no idea what home is and you like build on home, you can do that. If you if you like home, use that, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, and our platform makes it super easy. Super easy.
Yes, sir. 40 seconds. Let's see what else is there to look at. So, in looking at the allocations, there's 10% to external stake. What that means is 10% of the mint. So in this case, there's 0.16 ETH that is raised in this mint period so far. 10% of that, so 0.016 ETH, is going to get deposited into Aave straight up front. 82% is going to be put into the LPs. We have a 3% allocation that goes to the leaderboard pool, which we can kind of go over that in a little bit, and 5% going to home support. What does that mean? That means we are buying home and adding to the home ETH liquidity pool so that gets thickened up. Every token that launches on it gets thickened up and supports the underlying token.
Yep. It's awesome. Fresh ETH coming in and buying and starting a new LP It's just, we love it. So after it's done, it'll show the initializing liquidity pools on the side. And this is all automated for you. So you don't have to hit buttons. You don't have to do any of that. It's just straight up smooth, streamlined.
Yep. And we're launching at 0.23 cents. That was the launch price. And boom, it's live.
Let's place a trade. Pay that 5%. So on this one, we don't have an allocation towards the buy and burn, only from the external staking. So this will slowly fill up over time, and we have 36, 32, and we already have ETH rewards. You know, it's mini, but there is ETH rewards.
Yeah. 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 And then let me send you the deck screener link to look at home. I think I have it. If you want to pull that up, let's send it in the, yeah. So this is the home ETH LP. It's already got a nice little pump today. But if you look 1 minute ago, there was a $139 buy. That's this token launching and buying this token off the market to create the Build on Home LP.
Yep.
And there's also going to be at some point another buy with a liquidity add as well. That kind of gets batched in with multiple other tokens. So I'm not sure exactly when that'll happen, but it will. And that's, it's going to increase the liquidity on this token. There's buy pressure. You can see the buy that you put in 0.001 ETH at the top. That had to buy this token and then use this token to buy the Build on Home. So now you've created additional buy pressure, additional volume, all on the underlying project. It's very powerful.
Yeah, we're already basically here, let's see. Nice fat green candle.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's gonna, 12 holders, market cap $774. So this thing could absolutely rip with any amount of buy pressure, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was like zero marketing on this token. It was like we just just basically announced we've only just whitelisted this token to build on, hours ago. So it may take time for people to, become more aware of it. And we'll see what happens if other people decide they want to launch their own token. We'll see who's bullish on home. Because, if home does a 10x, this token is going to pump with it because it's bonded with it via the LP.
Yep.
And I encourage you to come to our Telegram and learn more because it's extremely powerful. So, and then you can kind of show like the drop down, like if you want to buy with home, you can change the ETH to home in the swap box and purchase with it. Yeah.
Yep. And then you could also sell your build on home for home as well. So you don't necessarily even have to switch anything like that either on both sides of it. So yeah, I love that feature. And it's a deflationary token. So the max supply is 321,000 basically, period. There's no more tokens ever going to be minted of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see. So let's look at Dex Screener again. So the moment your token launches on BuilDeFi, it's popping up and showing on Dex Screener.
Yeah, no gatekeeping here.
No.
We don't have our own internal mechanism and like this fake liquidity pool. And if you do well, then maybe we'll take some fees and then throw it on Uniswap. Like none of that.
Right.
The second the threshold is met on the token, it's going live on Uniswap. Zero gatekeeping. If the threshold does not get met, 95% is getting returned back to you. So if you mint a token and the threshold doesn't get there and the token doesn't launch, you get a 95% refund. The other 5% goes back into the platform to help feed the leaderboard pool to help incentivize existing tokens on the platform.
So it's, if you wanted to participate and it doesn't launch, literally zero risk. Well, 5% risk.
Yeah.
I mean, already there's been, $63 in transaction volume, and everybody that minted is up 36% so far. So
yeah. It really is truly amazing. And again, like this, these buys and sells, these are routing through home. This is a direct support of the home token. So that's something else that we really like to see is like, all these meme coins out there, it's all PvP. You're all competing for visibility, competing against everybody else to try to, shine through. But in this case, we're not competing with home. We're directly supporting home. And so we can be proud to say like this is a build on home token there's no like, yeah, there is some new community that you can bring in, but you're joining with an existing community. You're supporting an existing community and uplifting them. So it's like instant utility, instant help for an existing community.
Yep. Yeah, and it's taken more of your community's tokens off the market as well, and locking it, putting it into a LP. It's awesome. Fresh ETH coming in, gobbling it up, sticking it in an LP.
Yeah.
Now it's 64%. I love personally the ability of tokens to launch and everybody gets in at the same price during the mint phase. Instead of everybody doing this and that, you're in there, right? Knowing, regardless, you don't know what might happen with the token, but getting in on the mint phase, you got in with everybody else. There's no back room deals. There's nothing, so it's everybody mints their own tokens, and you either go up from there or go down from there, at the end of the day. And, so far, everybody who minted is up 64%, just like that. It's amazing.
Yep. And you can see the pool with ETH is live as well, and you can view that on Deck Screener. Yeah, you can obviously view all this on our website, but just pointing out that we're not gatekeeping anything. This is instantly available across all of DeFi. There's zero gatekeeping on this. It's completely on its own. And this has these two LPs because that's what was selected when it was built. You can go all in on a single LP, or you can launch on 50 LPs. It's really up to the builder on what you're trying to do, what you want to build on.
Yeah, and obviously the amount of participation you envision, if you want this token to launch and you're trying to do 50 LPs, well, that's going to add 50 LPs worth of ETH and needed for the mint phase to be done. So, if you can get that much for your LPs, then do it. That's amazing. But it does take more capital to get the launch to happen. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to pull up the build your token and kind of
that sounds
run
good.
through some of the options we've got? And like what he's talking about in the big green box in the top right, required participation for your token to complete the mint phase and actually launch and go live on Uniswap. That much ETH needs to come in during the mint phase. You set the mint phase duration. Yeah, I guess if you want to just run down the list of all the options here.
Yeah. So you can check the tokens per mint, and obviously that will dictate the mint price. It's kind of some math going on, but as you do it, it will show how many tokens there are. So the one that Build on Home did was just 1 million per ETH. So that's why we have the specific amount of tokens. You can change the fair launch duration, so up to 88 days down to 28 minutes, whatever you choose in there. Extra tokens minted for LPs. So obviously we did 100% on the Build on Home. And what that does is basically whatever that comes in, you can match it 100% with it, and just creates a little bit more stability in buying and selling on the token. It's a little more volatile the lower you go. Obviously, if you want that, cool. But, you just do 100% to match it. And liquidity, LPs. So this just shows that if you do nothing, 97% is going into the LP. You can have 8% total for the builder, 8% or 5% additional support, which can go to pretty much anywhere you would like.
Yeah, literally any address. It could be a charity, or maybe some tokens got a vault or a treasury. You can select that. Like, it's literally anything. So like it's really great for when you're building on a token, and that token, you can send ETH to that build on token to support them even more. It's wide open on the functionality like that offers.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's 5% max, right? And you can obviously, when you do it, you'll be able to see, if you're minting these tokens, you're going to be able to see what address that is. So obviously you can do your due diligence and check it. You can do a buy and burn up to 69% or whatever you choose. But as you see, the more you want in your buy and burn, the more the total LP you need, or the more ETH you need.
And the reasoning because of that is, as your buy and burn's going up, you're pulling from the liquidity pool allocation.
Yep.
So the lower that liquidity pool allocation is, the more ETH needs to come in to be able to create that. Because we don't want to create $20 LPs here. So there has to be a minimum size. There has to be a minimum amount of ETH that comes into the liquidity pool. We have it set at 0.1 ETH currently. So that's why you see, as long as if you got 97% coming in, then it's basically 0.1 ETH needed.
Yep.
But as that goes lower or higher, that's changing the requirement. But again, it's really up to you to decide how you want this to go. And if you're really trying to push this and support it and market it, and you've got this mint phase running for a week or 2 weeks or a month, or that's plenty of time to get your name out there, get the word out, get people interested, get people minting, and get that going. So maybe you're okay with a 0.35 minimum because you're like, that's easy. I'm going to get 5 ETH coming in on this mint, no problem. Then it doesn't matter. But if you're doing a 28-minute and it's some stealth launch and you're like, I don't know if people are going to get in on it or not, then you can keep that in mind of trying to keep the required participation low.
Exactly. Yeah. And it will always change up here in the required participation. So you know exactly how much you need, how much is going which way.
And not you personally, you personally, the build price is at the bottom. This is just requirement from anybody to mint your token. So yeah, like you personally, right now you're at a $6 launch, $6.
Yep.
And it's live. The mint phase is live. And the timer, this has got an 8-hour window currently. So second you launch it, you're paying the $6, and the mint phase is going to run for 8 hours. And then at the end of that 8 hours, did it meet the minimum participation? No. Then 95% gets refunded to all users. Yes. Then the LP gets created, or multiple LPs, whatever you selected, gets created automatically at that point.
Yeah. And just to let you guys know, we do have a free option. So if you don't want any skin in the game at all, but you want to launch a token, you can do that. But platform takes a little bit of a cut from it just to balance it out. But it's really cheap. I mean, if we click all of these buttons, and add a couple LPs, you're talking a $20 build, which is awesome. I mean, it's super cheap compared to spending thousands of dollars for a dev to dev up a token like this.
Right. Because if you want to do just a regular meme coin, it's $2 or free. Yep. Each of these options that we're selecting. So right now he's got a buy and burn selected. Oh, so yeah, he's removed it. So yeah, it's $2 base cost. And then each additional feature that you're adding to your token, those are going to add add-on costs. So depending on how simple or complex of a token you want to launch, it'll be anywhere from $2 to like maybe $20. Or the whole thing is free, in which case 5% goes to the platform. But it costs you nothing to do. So if you just want to play around with it and see how it works, just select the free option. All you're doing is paying the 0.1 cent gas fee or whatever it is. Base is crazy cheap in gas. So you can launch a free token just to see how it all works. And, a lot of times that's the best way to learn, is to just play around with it yourself.
Yep. And then right under the mint section, all right, say you're okay with this. I clicked all of them, right? Say you're okay with this. You go down to the LP setup and drop down menu, and you can pick any of these. So let's just pick home, for instance.
It doesn't show the drop down when you select it.
I always forget that. Right. So currently we have 9 tokens whitelisted on base, and we're looking to add more. Some big players in the game. But so we'll click home, and let's add another LP. We'll go ETH. Then you can add another LP. Let's go H420. You add another LP. So you can just keep stacking and stacking LPs if you like. But you see that every time we do it, it adds more needed on the required LP side. And when you take them off, obviously it continues to drop them down. So stack as many as you like, stack just one, or two if you like. It doesn't have to be straightforward one token every single time you launch LP wise. But then at the bottom we have add fee route, which all of the LP fees can be add to the LP, token builder, or the buy and burn. And that could be set at multiple fee routes. Like I'm going to click all of them, for instance. So we have up to 20%, add to LP, token builder, and the buy and burn. So you can have all three of these for the LP fees every single time a token is bought and sold. They're paying this and it's getting allocated towards everything you chose. And then we have the buy and sell tax, and you can set it up to 12%. And this has a little bit more flexibility. It has token builder, a burn, primary LP, additional support, external staking, internal staking, and the leaderboard. So you do have the ability to do a lot of different receivers. All right, we can just click all of them if we really want. So up to 7 receivers from the buy and burn, or from the buy and sell tax, which is insane to me, to be honest, that we can do that. And for 0 more ETH needed for the mint, this is just every time a token's bought and sold, it's getting allocated towards all of this. And obviously you can add, if you did do the additional support, you need to add a receiver down here. External staking, you have Aave, and it can go to the buy and burn, internal staking, or primary LP. So three different ones, and that just is a one destination fee route. So typically a lot of people do like the buy and burn just because it helps your token probably the most. Primary LP, there's definitely some thing to be said about adding more and more to your LP. I'm not discounting that by any means, but the buy and burn seems to be the most beneficial to your token, I would say. And then obviously internal staking, if you enable it. So people can stake the tokens and get rewards and earn more of your token over time.
Yeah, which helps create a community as well in that sense. Like if the buy and sell, part of the buy and sell tax went to internal staking, now people are not just watching a chart, they're actually taking their tokens and staking them in the platform to earn more tokens. So, and in this case, if you're a long-term believer, because you're like, oh, the Aave stake's going to grow to, thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's going to be buying and burning this token. Like, yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm going to hold this for, 5 years and just tuck it away, and I'll come back in 5 years and see what it looks like. Yep. You can do that, and you could stake it and earn even more on that token as all the buys and sells happen. So again, just a great option to select if you're looking to build a community, in long-term holders.
Yeah, and it takes more off the market too. And obviously the less that's on the market, the less possibility of selling. There's a lot of good things that go into the internal staking of the token, but that is paid in that token. So if you're staking build on home, for instance, you're going to be getting more build on home. So it's a great way to add to your bag if you like that token. So we have 3 LPs and basically clicked absolutely everything. And all you pay is $18 to launch it.
And that's a very feature rich token right there.
Yeah. I mean, just look at all these features on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy and burn on, internal staking on, external staking on, additional support on, 12% buy and sell tax.
Yeah. And what I love about that too is there's no tax on minting. So if you're, trying to get in on, like, if you're part of the mint phase, it's zero tax. Like you can get in, mint this token tax free, and then just stake it and earn off of all the people that are buying and selling the token. And you've got in tax free before the LP even went live. So
it's the best way to get in with knowing that this is going to have a tax. It's 0%.
Yeah.
And obviously there's some validity to be said buying after it goes live to see kind of how it goes. But this is, if you want to get in on the base that everybody else gets in on the mint, that's the way to do it. So this needs 0.3065 ETH to launch. And I have it set at 8 hours, but like I could set it for fucking 28 days, 8 hours, so if I want to market it and try to get more people in on this token so it can launch, then I have time to do that. And you can do 88 days or 28 minutes. We've seen people that do have a following launch their token with 28 minutes, and it does get a good amount of ETH in the mint phase. And we're going to see even more with build on home and different other various things. We're going to see more and really utilize it, right? It's obviously do a little marketing beforehand saying, hey, at this time I'm going to launch this token and it's going to have this amount of tokenomics and time period and all this stuff, so people are ready for it. A lot of people that just ghost launch a token with no marketing behind it, it's going to be tough for you to get the threshold reached. The minimum is around 0.1, but you do need people to know about it to be able to mint it. And, it will be shown on our website, but get a little hype before it so everybody kind of knows, hey, next week, this token's going to launch. I like this creator. They talk a lot on Twitter, and really show kind of, okay, we're all going to get behind this and grow this token, whether it's before, during the mint phase, or after when it's launched. You have the capability of doing that. But the most successful tokens on our platform so far have been people who market them. That is by far the best thing I can say. Let's
you wanna go over to ETH side and showcase a couple of existing tokens that have been live. Titan X Spartans right now is, like, zoom in on that. Now look at that. That's so beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, so this launched at 5023 and now we're at 407. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. And you can kind of scroll down to look at the tokenomics of it. They've got a builder allocation. So the builder got 3.5% of all the ETH that came in to mint this token. They got 3.5% of that just directly in their pocket. Boom. The mint phase was 8 hours. So this person launched a token, waited 8 hours, it went live, and 3.5% of all the ETH that went into it just went straight in their pocket. That's simple. They got paid. Yep. And then let's see, 55% of all the ETH went into a buy and burn, which is used up quite a bit of it. But it's burned.
It picked the 50-day amount, so that was the point. They picked the high speed. They want to burn through the 50-day, and it shows. I mean, it really has pushed it, but it spent, $237, but it's burnt almost $500 worth of their token just due to price appreciation. Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. And they have a forever growing, external stake as well.
Right. That wasn't funded at all from mints.
Yep.
That is purely from just buying and selling of this token. It's growing an Aave position from nothing.
Yep.
Just from buys and sells.
Yeah. And this is just off the muscle, straight up from the jump, just through a 3.33% tax and 15% of that going to an Aave stake. So just imagine
tiny.
if 100% of this was going to build an Aave stake. You know, that's a good bit more.
Yeah. You want to look at Better Call Jake? That's another top performer.
Yeah. Yeah. So if they did, just to put the math behind it, if they did 100% allocation towards the external staking, they would have had a $470 Aave stake right now.
Wow.
So and that's what, I mean, we did a 5% on the home. We did 5%, and that's 100% going to the Aave stake. So it's really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is, 63 holders, 30K market cap, 31K market cap, and just up and to the right. It just, it's a great looking chart. So Better Call Jake hit $1 again. We love that.
Oh yeah. I didn't even, wow. Nice.
So
it launched at about 4.5 cents.
Yep. So a smooth, 20 some X, which is awesome. And it definitely is testing that dollar. That dollar. I mean, you see, every time it hits it, it's such a psychological peak. It's like to $1. That kind of thing. Yeah. But it's certified, and this token has 4 tokens built onto it. So it's a really cool thing to be such a 63K market cap, which it was lower when they did get certified. And we see 4 tokens launched on top of it.
And what does that mean? Those 4 tokens, their primary LP is Better Call Jake. Those 4 tokens launched, and they selected Better Call Jake as their primary LP. And now they are directly supporting it. And you can tell on the charts they're supporting it. Yeah. Beast is doing amazing as well right out the gate. This one's I can't believe it's already been 19 days. Wow.
Yeah, well, since we launched this protocol, dude, this time actually has been flying by. This is something we work on, but it seems like, this is my 3rd stream already with this, and we launched on the 17th, and, it's definitely quick, so. But 33K market cap, and this launched with 3 LPs, which is cool too. So Better Call Jake gets its primary, Orin, and Hydra. So this is another example, and look at the pump right there. Sorry. Pump today was very nice. So this is the daily chart.
This one's got 50% going to Aave, and it's about to breach 1,000 in its Aave position. And after 17 days, with only a 33K market cap token, it's about to have $1,000 position in Aave. Like, proportionally, that's pretty damn sick for only being live for a couple of weeks. What is this going to look like after a year of being live? And it's just constantly building that Aave's position. And what does it look like when ETH goes to 10K? Like, the Aave position is going to look even more sick.
Yep.
It's
5K Aave position. If it, 5X's right now, like that's insane.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's going to be a constant builder. I mean, every time it's a 5% tax, 50% of that, 2.5% of every single buy and sell is adding to the Aave stake. It's that's real money, and that's a real locked stake and forever fees, forever yield, and or it's going to go to buy and burn.
Yeah, yeah. That's I think the most popular option. I would say the buy and burn, and it's the most fun if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, and what's cool is a lot of tokens with a little bit of holders and buy pressure, we go up and to the right, especially from launch. But what's cool is you can add, websites, Twitter, all that stuff to this, page. So I clicked on the website, and this is one of the cool. I really like this website. So you can add and customize your own website, and it goes right to it. So it adds a lot of validity to your token and really creates a sense of like, okay, this is legit. It's not just a random token. Like, this is something that people are taking seriously. And it's a really good thing to add. And start a Twitter, put a website through your Telegram, and it's all right up here, right next to the name. You just click on the icons.
Well, and I just want to point out also that the whole platform is audited. This is not some vibe code bullshit. We've spent over a year of development building this and perfecting it and spending a ton of money and auditing it and making sure this is a perfect built platform. And when you launch a token on our platform, you're by proxy completely audited. If you see a token launched from our platform, that it's not a rug, it's not a scam. You can verify that. If you see the token on our platform, then it's been launched through our platform. There's no way for there to have been any insiders, any VCs, like any of the stuff that you would see on scam tokens. You can't make that happen here, because you have to. There's no allocation of tokens to anybody. Like, if you want tokens from a token that's launched on our platform, you have to mint it during the fair mint period, just like everybody else, whether you're the builder or a trader, anybody. It's fair for all. So
yeah, and that's I think super important to note that that's why we wanted it to be so serious, because we knew that if people were going to launch tokens on our platform, they want to trust us. And having multiple audits on the code and a tremendous amount of fuzz testing, we really are. I love the sense of safety that we are providing crypto, especially a lot of other token launch pads. They code something up real quick. It doesn't work. Who cares? They move on. They do another one, and then they try to just keep doing it. But this is something that we're going to constantly be upgrading, constantly working on, and constantly grow. And it's going to be here.
Yeah. It's already the most feature-rich launch pad out there, and we've already got tons of other features in the works. Our roadmap is extremely extensive, but as it is, this site is just so feature rich. And I guess we've already been live for almost an hour. Do you want to look at the leaderboard or referrals, or there's so many other things to talk about?
Yeah, let's look at the leaderboard.
So yeah, I do want to point out also that we are a brand new launchpad. We're still ramping up. So as time goes on, these pools are going to grow. More and more tokens are going to be competing. But we've only been live for a month on ETH and Robinhood, and then we've been live on Base for 5 days now.
Yep.
Yeah. So still brand new coming out there. Just keeping that in mind.
Yep. But what I'll say is the platform leaderboard all of these tokens, the primary LP are ETH, and that's on the platform leaderboard. For a lot of these other tokens that have launched are bonded to exotic tokens, right? Like Beast on steroids is bonded. Primary LP is Beast, right? Munchie's primary LP is H420. So they all have separate leaderboards. So on this, just for instance, Munchie's H420, that has its own leaderboard. And, we have 5 tokens that have launched on H420. So if you want to be a part of the leaderboard, you have to have your primary LP be a part of the specific leaderboard you want to be a part of.
Yeah, and then what are you competing for? ETH, fresh ETH to buy and burn your token. What else what else could you ask for?
Yep.
So
exactly. Yeah. And this obviously the epoch ends in 8 days, 13 hours, and the time. But for the most part, this pool has been just growing slowly over time, and it's going to keep growing slowly. And that's, kind of by the play. It's, we didn't want to inject it and this and that. We wanted it to be authentic and grow the way it's supposed to. And this just, all it does is pay out to your token, and it adds to a brand new buy and burn, and it buys and burns your token. That's all it does. And so it just pumps your bag, takes more supply off the market, fully adds more deflation to your token. And depending on your effective volume, that's where it's going to be. You're going to be top 5 get paid, and depending on where you are on that list, you get a payout.
Yeah, every token on our platform is cap supply once trading is enabled. When the fair mint period ends, boom, the supply is then capped, and that's it. And can only deflate from there. And if you are a leaderboard winner, yeah, you're gonna win ETH. That just like if you're getting rewarded just for doing well on its own. A lot of these tokens don't even need the leaderboard. They've got their stake in Aave that's buying and burning their token. But they can also win a leaderboard, and there's multiple ways that are picking up your token and supporting it. And if you're building on another token, you're supporting that ecosystem. And there's just so many ways for you to get together and work together as not even just one token, an ecosystem of tokens can now work together to break through the noise of the meme coin sector, which is thousands of meme coins are launched a day. 99% of them last 15 minutes. We're giving you the tools to go the distance and really pick up steam and, break through that market and not just break through, but break through and hold and stay and build a real following. Those are the tools that we're trying to build and hand you, all for a couple of bucks.
Or nothing. That's the best part. If you want to do nothing, that's cool too.
Yeah.
So pay $0 or $20 for a 3LP feature rich token. That's really what it comes down to. It's quite powerful. And, I think a lot of the stuff that we have provided tokenomics wise is a forever thought, and it's a longevity play, and it always has been a longevity play. And, but not to say that, if you have a lot of hype around a token, especially with the stuff we got going on and tokenomics we have, that can rip and it can really do some crazy numbers. So if you bring a lot of hype and, a big time token to BuilDeFi, then you'll see that these allocations and the taxes and the external staking, how powerful they really are.
Yeah. Will you go back to the home ETH deck screener? Yeah. Our LP manager just made another purchase. and it is pushing this token. So if you look at yeah, the ABF wallet there, that's our platform. You can filter by it and show that it's made 2 buys now. And it still hasn't added the liquidity yet either. So there's still more buys and liquidity adds coming to this token. We've got the algorithm to where it's not just like coming in all at once. We're not trying to like buy up against ourselves. You know,
Yep.
we've got limits that we've got set, slippage and price slippage limits. So a lot of these buys get broken up into smaller buys. So imagine having like, you know, 3, 4, 5 tokens. Man, if you copy that address, that ABF address, and pull up the H420 chart, it really like showcases what I'm talking about. What, yeah, do the Titan X, H420 Titan X, yeah, and then filter by that same wallet. Oh man, that's got a nice little jump today. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
Click the, yeah. Now look at that. Look at that. That's pure token launches on our platform. Those are all buys and liquidity adds. Just those are all people bullish on H420 launching tokens on top of it. And every token that's paired with H420 is now up with that big green candle. You're riding that green candle because you're bonded with it in its liquidity pair. So congrats to all those. But yeah, like that I can't stress enough like how much support that is for, like, now they're not competing. All these tokens that have launched on H420 are not competing. They're working with H420, and all of those buys and that green candle, like that's lifting everybody that's paired with it. So that I didn't know that green candle was there today. That's a nice surprise to see. And just for those that don't know, this is a token that I launched. Man, it's been like 2 years now, probably more. Jeez, time is just flying by. So love to see it.
Yeah. We yeah, the daily looks nice too.
Yeah. Now, this pair is slightly new. That's why you don't see a whole lot of history. But yeah. But anyways, that's all I wanted to showcase is all the buys, all the liquidity adds, and all the buys and sells of all the tokens on top of this are routing through here. So this is getting increased volume and buy pressure. It's really a beautiful thing to see. So
awesome. Yeah, it looks good, and you know, I can't stress enough that I'm, you know, really pumped on having Home, you know, as a massive partner. You know, these guys really liked what we were doing, and I think adding them to our platform is a no-brainer, and it just giving the ability for their community to build tokens around and create a stronger, thicker LP web. And for a token that doesn't have an LP web, starting an LP web is a massive benefit to your token. And every single time a new token launches, Fresh ETH adds and takes that supply off the market. And what better way, you know, what better way than to do that and constantly have more and more fees coming in?
Yeah. I mean, we've still got, I would say, 100% satisfaction rate. You know, like I come try us, come join our Telegram, come check out the website, play around with it. I think you're gonna like what you see.
Yep.
So brand new on base. We just launched 4 days ago. We are anticipating rolling out on additional chains. So, look out Binance, look out Arbitrum. If Uniswap V4 is out there, we're coming for you. But right now we're really focused on building the awareness and following on base. And as soon as we feel like we're good here, we can let this run and we'll start the next chain. So
and congratulations to everybody who minted. You're up 2x. It's amazing to see.
Yeah. Nice job.
We love it. Yeah. So any sign out words, Dave, dude?
Man, I feel like we've said it all. Like, this is extremely feature rich. This is not your grandma's token launchpad. This is something built from the ground up, different. So check it out. I think you'll like it. So catch you next week.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on, dude, and I'm sure hopefully we have some more people, or we have more projects that are getting whitelisted on our platform, and to show kind of how powerful it really is. So I appreciate everybody for coming, viewing, watching, and till next time. Peace.
No need to ask, he's a